Hello, my name is Veronica and welcome into the Learning Lab. And sad to say, yes, not another DIY stamping tool. I would like to share my take on it, so come on in and let's get started. Yeah, this little critter was waiting for me in my shower. And I asked my son, I said, "Are you trying to get rid of me? I have no life insurance." And he was like, "Why would you need life insurance?" And I said, never mind. Anyway, out he goes. So, as most of you know, when I attended the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo in Chantilly, I did get the Mini Misty from Steve Willett over at A to Z Scrapbooking, and I gotta tell you, I do like it. It's a cool little tool, and this size is perfect for me. Believe it or not, they were selling a size that was large enough to do on a scrapbook page. But I thought, if I'm on my scrapbook page, I already know what I'm doing. I don't need it. I basically got mine for assembly line card making when I have to do that. And the little magnets are secured nice and tight, as you can see, very tightly right there on the back. So I'm going to put those to the side and separate them. I am not doing another DIY tool because I have this one. I want mine because I do a card making workshop for an after school club for kids, and I want them to stamp, and I tried it with just the blocks, and it just didn't go over well. So I thought, I've got to come up with something where they can get a good impression with stamping. And I've seen where a lot of people are using the DVD and CD cases, and with this one, you open it, it has that little thing inside. Well, that pops out. Just go right up here to the top, slide your nail or some other object if you can't get in there and it pops right out. Toss that away, it's gone. So now we're working with just this case. So now we're going to need some foam to go on the inside of it. So what I did was I went into my craft closet and I pulled out some sticky back foam that I had gotten at either Joann's, Michael's, or AC Moore. It's in the kids craft foam aisle, but when you pull it back, it already has adhesive on there for you, which is pretty cool. So what I did was I took two different pieces and cut it down to size. And if you look here, going across, it's just a little bit, when you cut it, it'll be under 5.5. And then going this way, it's just a little bit over 4.5. But once you cut it down to size, you're gonna have to play with it just a little bit. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5/8 there, and that will fit right inside. But then I needed a piece of magnet, and I needed the magnet to be strong. So I went to my Darice embossing folder, because when these come, if you look behind the little white piece, there's a magnet that's in between these two. And the one in between this bird cage house was the perfect size I needed for this. Only thing I needed to do was to trim it down a little bit to make sure that it would fit. So here's my idea on how to use this. I'll take my magnet, adhere it to my black foam piece, stick it in, and I'll use this when I am using a cushion back rubber stamp. If I'm using an acrylic photopolymer stamp, I can pop in this extra piece, return this back to the top so that I can get the height that I need in which to stamp. I have not adhered it all together yet because this was an idea in the making. So what I would like to do is to stamp something. And I'm just going to throw in a scratch piece of paper here for wherever I think I might want it. And we're going to do a photopolymer stamp first. And I think I'd like to do this cute little guy and have him end up coming out down here. So my paper is in. I'm going to use, for right now, my magnet from my Misty. Put him into place. Pick him up. Now I'm just ready to put some ink on him. And I'm going to use my VersaFine, which is my preferred go-to ink. Be careful when you're down here at the edges because it is pretty close. I did order the tiny VersaFine one when Joann's had their sale last, and it was great. Doesn't take a whole lot. Comes out beautifully. And there he is. How quick and easy was that? Down, and I could do a whole column of him with his music. Let's get my magnet back in place. Now the one thing I do want to caution you about, I wouldn't put it there because that's where that little opener comes. This is simply to hold it in place. So let's put it there and close him. And there he is. Cool. I want to use this cute little dress one. I think it's from Hero Arts. But because I am using that, I do need to take out one of my foam layers. So I'm just going to remove the gray one and then put this back. Put this in here and I'm just going to hold it down. Let's get my dresses inked. This image, in case you're wondering, I wanted, I was betting on eBay years and years and years ago. Hero Arts used to have a site there. They still might. And I won it and it was in there. So here we go. Push that down. And I really want to see how this is going to do with my paper hanging over the edge. And yeah, it did bend it. But I still got a beautiful, crisp, clear image on that. Now I want to try this stamp from Inkadikado, but I know I'm going to need to trim my paper just a little bit. This is just some I had lying around. And decide where I want that to go. Put down my magnet. Ink that up. Booyah! Beautiful. Beautiful and stunning. So when I want my kids to do a card and we want different things on it, what I can do is just make up a lot of these, pre-set up where the stamps are going to go, leave the ink there, and they can go down assembly line, stamp it, put their card in the right place, close the lid, press it, open it up, move to the next one, put their card in, and I'll probably make sure they put theirs against the side so that they get an accurate stamp every time, and then just stamp it, call it a day, and keep it moving. Because this past time I tried to have them stamp and I wound up having to go back and stamp every single image that we used on our stamps. Huge absorption of time for me, but there it is. So here we are with yet another DIY stamping tool, this time using the sticky back foam and the magnet from your Darice die cutting. So give it a whirl, let me know what you think, and this is going to be great for my after school stamping club. Oh, love it! As always, thank you for joining me in the lab today. Please be sure to check out my blog at inkallusions.blogspot.com. Until then,